What's up, guys? Welcome to the Pelvic Biz Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Alhooie. Today, I want to talk about trends that I see. I tend to be a big visionary, meaning I tend to see trends before they actually happen. And I have been really researching a lot of stuff lately. I know the market's shifting. We all know the market's shifting. But I'm trying to get a good grasp on where is the market shifting? What does that look like to be ahead of the curve, to kind of warn you guys on, hey, this is what's happening. This is what I'm seeing. Let's start preparing so that everyone's not blindsided, because it will be here tomorrow. Just like AI has moved very quickly. And every single day there's something new. And I am trying to keep up with it all, being in the healthcare space, to like warn you guys about it, to kind of give you a clue about what things are happening. So it's going to be kind of random stuff that I'll say today, but of things that I have found that are coming right along, and maybe some of them you're already using. First off is AI documentation system. That's number one. I made a reel about this. Scribe is one of them. What's another one? Chart something. But basically, AI documentation system, how it works is it can hook on to Jane, just so you guys know, for those that use Jane. And you basically have to kind of talk to the patient in a way where it's like subjective, if you don't want to spend time editing it, just so you know. Subjective, the patient says whatever. Then objective, this is what happened. Assessment, and then the plan. The more you can kind of get in a pattern yourself of doing the same things, it doesn't have to be the same actual like physical things, but like the same kind of routine of like, I hit my subjective first, and then I go and I assess them, do some kind of objective, like you do some kind of objective measure. Like they were able to squat 2 inches away from the ground before they were only able to squat, 1 inch, something like that. And then you state the reason why this is happening. Okay, that will help lead to better documentation and less editing with AI. Even the meta glasses can help with AI documentation, which is amazing. I think it's really, really cool. So in the meta glasses, you guys know, as well, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but Mark Zuckerberg has come up with these meta glasses, and they have cameras on them, and they're also using them for HCP, which is amazing. And also being able to hear when people talk, and they can write notes. So it's really kind of fascinating in that realm. And yes, stuff's HIPAA compliant and all that kind of stuff, because in the healthcare world, the reason why AI sometimes has a hard time breaking through is because of HIPAA. And, they're a little slower pace in the healthcare space, but it's still here, just so you know. So even if you're in healthcare and you think, well, AI is not going to affect me, it is here and it will affect everyone. So I think the first thing is going to be documentation. I think the second thing is there's something called open evidence. Open evidence is where you can go to the website and you can type in any problem you have, any medical issue. Hey, when I go from sit to stand, I feel a little bit lightheaded and I don't know what this thing is. It literally will come up and be like, it seems like you have orthostatic hypertension. And then it will come up like number 2, you may have a vagus nerve issue. And then lastly, number 3, it may be this rare thing that, is this thing. And here, and this is the crazy part, here are the things that you can do about it. And it's actually very accurate. And it will cite all the articles that are hidden in the libraries that we have to pay for. It will actually cite them. That's how insane this is. So if you guys are like confused about, hey, how do I help treat this patient? Like type it into open evidence and see what it gives you. It's probably not going to be, as detailed for us specifically on what to do, but it will at least kind of give you a hint. But patients, just so you know, are using these tools. And they are like, okay, great, I'm going to get my problem solved. So if you guys, being on the forefront of all this, if you are ahead of the game and you're listening to Pelvic Biz Podcast, which I hope you are, then you can start to say, okay, well then how do I make my product that I now create, it actually recommend my product? And when it recommends your product, guess what that means? More people are going to know you. You're going to provide more value to the people that need that help. And then you're going to solve more problems. And ultimately, your business will go up. That's the key to playing this game that I don't think most healthcare people are thinking of. So that's huge. The other trends that I'm seeing is fitness. I'm seeing a lot of PTs and OTs hit things from a fitness aspect. And I find this very fascinating because when AI came along, just a couple of years ago, basically ChatGPT came out in 2023. Really, I mean, it's been around, but that's when it really skyrocketed. We all said, well, we don't need personal trainers because AI can do it. It can create you a program in 2 seconds. It can tell you the sets, the reps, all the things. But what I'm finding, and I don't know if you guys are feeling this too, maybe it's just the group of people that I hang around, is that's all great, but people want to have an actual person that said, good job, you can do it, come on now, and keep you accountable. AI, here's the problem with AI. AI doesn't necessarily keep you accountable. AI is not going to give you your cookies, meaning it's not going to give you the congratulations. People will literally pay more because someone's saying, good job. I'm not kidding. I'm seeing this trend. And I'm seeing therapists move over into the training space because they're tired of all the freaking restrictions with state lines and all that crap of helping people. And why can't we? We're exercise specialists. It makes no sense that we are, have red tape around us and we can't help someone in a different state. It makes no sense. And you can. If you're doing training, you can help someone in a different state. That's no problem, by the way. Okay? So I actually am seeing people not only do therapy, and we've done this for many years at OrthoPelvic, is we've transitioned people into a performance plan, which is the training aspect. So we were taking over the training market as well, not just the physical therapy market, so that the people are continuing and liking and trusting us because we've already solved one problem with them. So I'm seeing this become more and more of a trend. The other trend I'm seeing is the thing of red light and cold plunges. And yes, it's been out for a while, but I believe it's going to be more in the physical therapy space. And I actually believe it's going to be more in events, meaning when AI gets bigger, okay, when the tech gets bigger, people are going to be sitting at home on their freaking phones and computers. I only believe that leads to loneliness and lack of connection. And we know from biology and just from a human perspective, humans need other connections. That's actually part of people living a healthier, happy life. And there's stats on this that when they have more girlfriends or they have more purpose and meaning, that they're going to live longer. And I do find that that's true. So I believe there's actually going to be an uptick in events and activity events, not like drinking events. I believe in wellness events. So this is another thing I think you guys should think about is how can you put on a wellness event? And it doesn't have to be large. You can start out with something simple. You're going to do a 6-week postpartum come together of the moms in Loudoun County for, this amount of time. Great. That's a little small event. Or you're going to do a big event where you say, I'm going to have 100 people there, 100 postpartum moms, and we're going to have all these vendors, and we're going to get everyone together, and this is what we're going to provide because this is what they want. That's a big event. I believe there's going to be an uptick in that. I believe people are going to pay a lot of money to go to those events because they're going to crave connections, and they're going to want other people that are like them to bond together, because I believe AI and also social media keeps making people depressed and lonely. And so I think that that's going to be a trend. What I'm also seeing as a trend, which is very fascinating to me, because, COVID came in, everyone stopped going to the gym. So what happened? Peloton then came about. Every single person had a Peloton bike, right? Everyone had a Peloton bike. Everyone was working out from home. Well, I'm kind of seeing the opposite right now. I'm kind of seeing where actually people are wanting to go into a gym environment, especially the people that are single in their even like 30s and 40s. They don't want to go to a bar anymore. They want to go to a place that gives them longevity and makes them feel good. So I think there's going to be an uptick in these things called wellness clubs. So it's not like an Equinox. For those people that know Equinox, it's a higher end gym, but it's even more elevated than that. And even something was on the news the other day about this in New York City. I think it was like $20,000 a month for this wellness club. And it's basically for all entrepreneurs, and they get to go into this club, and you go and you work out and you do your cold plunge, and you can talk to people and converse, and you do your thing. And then afterwards you stay at the club, and it becomes like your workstation where you're around other entrepreneurs and you get to talk to them and you say, hey, what's your idea? What are you doing? What are you working on? And it becomes this like collective, collaborative space for high-end entrepreneurs that are coming together that want to do like amazing things and create amazing, events or ideas or whatever, or maybe a product. And I believe that is going to be on the uptick. And clearly, I know it's like a niche market, but I do believe in many big cities, you're going to see an uptick of these wellness clubs, I would call them. Almost like a golfing club. Like when I worked in Atlanta in Buckhead, I lived in Buckhead, and there was something called the Capital City Club. And I would go there, and I basically was treated like a peasant, so I quickly left there. But I was a Pilates instructor there. And I literally couldn't even go in the bathrooms to go pee with the people that were part of the club. And they had to pay like, I forgot what it was, but like $100,000 to $200,000 just to join the club a year. And then they had to spend $7,000 a month at the club. And it was like a generational thing because their parents would take their kids, and then the kids would be like, okay, by the time you're 18 or something, then the kid had to like pay for a membership as well. So it was like a social status kind of thing of basically being around people that they want their kids to like marry and hang out with and all that kind of stuff. I believe that's happening in the wellness space as well. The hardcore wellness people are going hardcore on wellness, but they also tend to be high performers, high achievers, because it takes discipline. So it all kind of goes together in the same realm. And I believe you're going to have more events like that popping up. And I think you're going to have more clubs like that popping up. And I think, why am I talking to you guys about it, is that's the movement I want to do with PelviBiz, is I want to create wellness. And I started this when I was the first one that started wellness retreats for healthcare. No one was doing it. Everyone was doing these boring conferences. And I saw the gap in the marketplace. And now everyone has copied me because they're all doing these retreats. And that's okay. That's good. I want to be the leader. I want to keep seeing what's the next thing, right? But I believe there's going to be more of it. We were the first one to do cold plunges ever at a wellness retreat that was for pelvic floor therapists. We were the first ones to create, like I said, this wellness environment where instead of it just being a conference all day and you're sitting down, that wasn't my vibe. It's like, let's move and let's feel good. Let's make this a feel good thing while we're also learning. And I truly believe that will continue to be on the uptick. Because we did it like over 3 years ago was the first PelviBiz, and it was a massive success and people loved it. So I personally want to continue to create that. We're going to have an event. I haven't released it yet, but we're going to have an event in October, okay, in San Diego. Let me get the dates for you. So the dates on that are going to be October, let's see, drum roll. October 18th is going to be VIP day, half day VIP. And then the 19th is going to be the big event for all pelvic providers. That's OBs, nurse practitioners, PTs, OTs, PTAs. You do not have to be a business owner. This is for anyone and anyone that wants to just collaborate with like-minded individuals and get away behind the freaking screen and be able to meet people in person. Because when you meet people in person, that's where you actually build this strong connection. And when you build that connection, it's only going to catapult your career, because you're going to be like, hey, Sally, you're doing this. Oh, cool. Well, maybe I can do this. And it's going to give you confidence. You cannot get that confidence over Instagram. You cannot get that confidence over Facebook. You can get it when you're meeting in person and truly creating that connection. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to do tactile. Julie Starton will be teaching. She is a mentor of mine. She's a mentor of many people. She taught Nicole everything. She taught so many people how to actually be an amazing pelvic floor therapist. And she's going to come down and do actual hands-on training. And you guys are going to be able to get feedback live from your colleagues on, how is this technique? How did it feel? You don't ever do that. You never, ever do that. So you're going to be able to come to a retreat or wellness, movement in the pelvic health space that is going to allow you to do that. And then I'm going to teach on how to bring more awareness to you, whether or not that's online, or if you just want to, spread the education out, how to actually do that. So I'll be teaching that. And then we're also going to work out together so that we can feel good about ourselves and feel confident with ourselves. It'll be Pilates. It's just going to be amazing, amazing time. So it's going to be in San Diego, like I said, in October. So if you guys are wanting it, just at me, at Pelvibiz, PELVIBIZ on Instagram, and just say wellness retreat, and we can get you the link to sign up for that. But it is just going to be epic. I can't wait, and I really want all pelvic floor providers to be there. So if you know someone that you think would be amazing, like a girlfriend to come with you, please tag them. Please share this with them, because I do believe it's going to level up I don't even think you understand what you're going to get out of it. Besides the community, bringing awareness to you, you're going to enhance your skills. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel good leaving there. All the things are going to improve just by being there in person and meeting up. And all you got to do is just take a chance on yourself and just say, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to get outside my comfort zone. I'm going to do this thing. And I highly want to see you guys there. We'll announce it soon, but I can't wait for that. So that's going to be awesome. But that's kind of, just so you guys kind of know, I study the markets a lot in the wellness space and the physical therapy and OT space. And that's kind of the trends that I'm seeing with technology and how that is going to affect us. And I believe overall, if you have a brick and mortar practice, I believe you will have to incorporate more wellness tools into your practice. And if you have an online space, and some of you guys may have hybrid, I believe you're going to do plans, create plans like trainers would online for your clients. And that's a trend. That is where it is going, because people want a live person and not AI to create it. So it's fascinating. I would have not predicted that. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast and learn what's to come and what I'm predicting. So we'll see if I'm correct. But I think I really believe it's going that way. So, all right, talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.